Happy Easter. Well, it's not really Easter. But when I filmed this, is Easter Sunday, and I did spend my day off on Friday, paid, mind you, just roaming around in the mountains. Like, I think every girly has their emotional support mountain, and if you don't, you should find one. Sorry about that. Welcome back, literally, to like the Writer's Diary, starting me like J.E. Mahal Kuya, and we are back on our bullshit, unfortunately. Um, well, yes. Today we're literally just gonna be talking about rituals, specifically like writing rituals, because I feel like we don't have none of that here. Like it's kind of, for me, non-existent, non-present, literally just me and myself and I. Um, but like, I think there's an importance of like writing rituals, especially if you don't have like a room of your own or like a place or like a specific time day to kind of write. I have never had, I'm always like on the move as a girly pop, as someone who is in the modern era, as someone who has a day job, as someone who is a student. Like I cannot have time to like, my day to day life is very like fluid and structured and it's constantly changing. Like I do not have time to fully structure out like a time and place, Tati Westbrook, to like for a period where I sit down and actually write. Like that's it's not happening. Like for me, like writing is me at 11 a.m., 11 p.m. actually, or midnight, writing on my bed. Or it's me like 6 o'clock at night on the train writing for a Substack post. Or it's me in the gym like having a thought in my head and writing it down on a notes app. Or it's me at work on my lunch break, spinning out a paragraph or two on my phone. Like I am so bewildered and like gagged of like writers who like have rituals where like what I do is I sit down and I have my cup of tea and I have my popcorn and I really like delve deep into my core, my broccoli, my emotional support, and I really just like really delve into it, and I'm like I don't do none of that, and I probably should. um and I think like even if as the a girly pop who is constantly like in motion and is constantly like moving about, like writing rituals I think appear to us differently. It's not just like sitting down on your cool mahogany table and like sipping your Earl Grey tea. Sometimes it's literally just reading something. Before I write anything, I'm always reading something first. I feel like the vibes and like the structure and like I always like learn something from other writers, especially like their sentence structure or their voice or their tone or literally anything. I like their aesthetic and vibe. Anything I learn a lot from their writing. So what I do as I literally read, like I'm always like I think that's like my number one tip as a girly pop who is literally like constantly in moving and in shifting. Like even if it's just for like a 2 minutes, like I really recommend before you write to like read, because like I think it really like gets you like somewhere like in the mood, like you're ready to like pop it out, like type. Especially for me, like I am always like if I'm reading like a particular Substack piece and like, oh, that's interesting, like I might like write a partial response to that. Or if I read poetry, I'm like, oh, that's I love the way that um the stanzas are formed, or like um the tone or the flow of the piece. Like, oh, like that's interesting. I want to try that out. I feel like even if it's just like the topic, like I feel like that's really interesting for me, and I kind of just like write about it. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna like read this and get inspired. Like I love getting inspired and from people who write. Like I just read it, like point blank period. Like yeah, that's probably like one of my only kind of rituals before writing. Like I have heard of writers who literally like eat popcorn and eat hot chip and lie, and be bisexual. And I've also heard writers who like go on a run before they write. And I heard of writers who like do a bunch of do dee da da da. I'm like, no, I don't do none of that. I just read. Um, and it is hard to like literally like I get the urge to kind of skip it and just like write something. Like you have deadlines, dude. You just have to get it done like as you do like in our modern world. But I really recommend just having a little ritual, I think. Anyways, that is it for this episode. All my stuff and all my things will be down in the description. And I have posted something on Substack, allegedly. So keep an eye on things. I do apologize for the slow posts on Substack. Like I don't know, like I'm finishing my manuscript and I'm like having like so many thoughts and I'm just like fling things around and like see where they end up and I'm like yes, sometimes that is the art and crafts. Thank you so much for listening, and I will definitely see you in the next one.